Hi there, this is the reading for the Capricorn male single for February of 2018. So this is the Valentine spread. Now it's for singles, but at the same time, I'm really going to be highlighting the next relationship that comes in. So you may be single over the February month or even Valentine's Day, but this is going to kind of highlight your next significant relationship coming forward. So that's really the House of Love spread that I put out. The 3 cards in the roof accentuate how you guys meet, circumstances and whatnot. And the 4 cards in the house really display how the relationship goes once it's in full swing. So even though you may be single over the month of February, this may not make sense to you. This is the next thing that's coming in, the next significant relationship. Okay, so I use the Romance Tarot and the Sex and Love Tarot, and we just go through the whole thing. So I'm going to start with the first card I got, which is the Romance Tarot. In the roof, so this is circumstances under which you meet. The first card I get is the 4 Cups, and the 4 Cups is really about a man coming forward to a woman and trying to accommodate her needs. So you may be in a situation where you have your eye on someone, and you are making every effort to make her understand that you care for her. And that's really what that is, going outward, trying to accommodate, someone, a partner, potential partner. So on the sex side of things, we get the 5 of Pentacles. And the 5 of Pentacles really symbolizes to me the whining and dining and wanting to impress her, wanting to romance her, really. Even though we're in the sex deck with this card, I feel like that is the true romance part coming out, trying to romance, because everything's kind of hardcore in there. But this is like the softer romance. So there's really a sense here that the Capricorn male is going to take his time and he's going to do this right? The next card I get in the romance area is 20. So that's Judgment, right? So in this deck, it can be, misconstrued as different things, but she's basically got a calling horn there. She's making a call out. So I feel like the Capricorns are in a situation romantically where they are feeling like they need to have a partner, and maybe been one of those people that it's like, I don't have a partner, I don't care, it doesn't matter. But now they're feeling an itch to kind of go beyond that and to challenge that a little more. And that's kind of the universal pull, but also them realizing that as well. So they're going to indulge in that, right? So they're hearing that and they're answering that intuitively. They're going outward and starting to mingle a little more assertively in that area in looking for romance. And the reason they're willing to take it so slowly and so easily is because at one point it really didn't matter. It's starting to matter, but it's not an obsessive thing. So they're just going to take their time and do it right. Now, the next card I get on the sex side of things is the 6 of Cups. So we're talking about sex here, and we're talking about past lessons. Lessons came up here in the word that I was given. I usually don't assign it to this card, but nonetheless, there's some past stuff you're keeping in mind as you move forward, which is really good and thorough, right? So the next card I get in the roof, and this is all about the meeting, right? So during the meeting, you're hearing a call and you're going outward, and you're also thinking about things in the past, that intimately how things went. And then you get the Temperance. So the Temperance is, about tempering things. So we have to keep in mind, and it may be on a physical level that you are overindulging in the physical arena and maybe not giving so much emotional support through that. So I feel like that's where it hits here. Now the card on the sex side is the Knave of Swords, and that is really the Page of Swords, right? So that's the objectifying of the body, right? The going after the physical senses and maybe not attending to the emotions as much as we should or could, right? And so we have to be aware of that. Temper the sexual side of things and make sure you have a good balance of emotional along with the physical. Because I feel like that may have been where the Capricorn was out of balance here in the past. It's just the emotions weren't all in. And it may have just been a timing issue. He may not have been ready to give in that way. So now he's a little more in that mode, in a mindset anyway. And then physically he can temper himself enough that he doesn't go overboard on the physical side, on the sex side, and we give enough romance to keep everything firing on all cylinders, right? So that's in the roof. So that's how you meet. So it's all a state of mind for this Capricorn male. He's really got to get into gear here. And there's some things I think he's well aware of. He's well conscious of the fact that he didn't do it right in the past and he needs to do it right now. The cards that I get in the house, the first romance card I get is the Five of Wands. And the Five of Wands is going out, taking yourself out of your comfort zone to get into somebody else's comfort zone, you know, not being afraid to go out and say, hey, I like you. Let's, go for coffee. Let's do dinner. Let's do this. Let's do that. Showing that you care and going out and doing that in a passionate kind of way. And I feel you getting a good reception in that way. So the next card I get is the Nine of Cups on the sex side of things. So that's a really having a keen interest, right? We know the Capricorn male is interested in the sex side, but willing to let things heal, right? Including yourself. I feel like there's some things here on the sexual side that you're willing to let yourself heal through. You're anxious to get over it. And I feel like this is the opportunity, and you feel like that's the case. This is the opportunity. But for some reason, you're able to cool your jets pretty good here. That's the sense I'm getting with the Nine of Pentacles, because the Nine usually is about attending to each other's needs. And of course, we got no clothes here, so we're talking about physical side, physical depth here. And also in the romance area, willing to go out and just get what you want. Go after what it is that you're looking for. Taking the opportunity to get a closer look at relationships here where you haven't done so in the past. So this is really a good advancement forward, I feel, for this Capricorn male. The next card I get on the romance side of things is the Knight of Cups, and the Knight of Cups is really offering that love to that couple that he's looking outward publicly. He's going to make an appearance to a concerted effort, right, to bring this in, reel this in, and then not only that, he's attending to her sensually, and there's loving feelings that are coming from that, and he's offering that forward to her. Now, the next card I get on the sex side of things is the Two of Pentacles. And the Two of Pentacles is about things that are done without the other person's knowledge. And I feel like this Capricorn male may have been inspired by the partner he's going after to create some situations where he figures it's going to create enjoyment for the partner. So we may have a surprise or some kind of maybe a trip away or planning something that I feel like the partner does not know about. Whether it's a trip to visit, a trip to go somewhere, planning some kind of an evening out that is kind of something that's not within their dating zone. It's a little bit different than what he's planned for her normally, feeling inspired to do this. And I'm getting a deep sense of that too for this Capricorn male that is single. He is really feeling through this woman and through going out of his own box, right? Inspired to do things that he hasn't done before. The next card I get in the romance area is the Eight of Coins. And the Eight of Coins is that fun-loving, skipping through the river kind of feel. It's like we're having fun, we're enjoying each other, and I don't care what anybody thinks. And it's just a good old time fun zone that you're in. Everybody's happy. Everybody's got a smile on their face, can't wipe it off. They're running through the river. Who knows what the hell happened that day? But everybody's happy, and it's a grounded, earthy, really authentic happiness. And I feel like the Capricorn's not used to that. I feel like, man, I haven't felt this happy, or I haven't laughed this hard, that kind of a thing, in ages. And he's feeling that through this relationship. And I'm feeling too, when he gets in there, that he's kind of like, oh, okay, you know, almost in a flippant way. He's like, yeah, I'll do this. I can experiment here. I can turn on my charm and see what I can do here. But in the meantime, he's really getting swept up in it. So we have the 8 of coins, and then on the sex side, we have the 4 of coins, which is really transferring all that happiness and joyfulness outside of the bedroom into the bedroom and just exploding in that way. So a really good grounded energy and a strong, steady base. I feel this Capricorn has a potential to pull off here. Now, the next card I get is the Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords is interesting. Is this another suitor for this woman? I want to make that a duel, you know, but I'm not going to go all drama-rama here. But it's interesting because it does seem like it's out of point for this house. Seems like this guy is, I mean, he's there to get to the truth, to the bottom of things, and he don't take no shit, and he's aggressive and assertive, and we have this emotional man offering all this love. But what happened? Is it the same guy, and now all of a sudden he's laying down the law? Now the next card I get to accentuate is the 8 of Cups. Now this is an interesting card because I've basically assigned the essence for it to be the fake love card. Okay, so there's something here that's going on with this Knight of Swords, no less. And this may not be that actual Capricorn male. I'm trying to understand whether it's his energy that something happens. He has to be all stern and get to the point of things and answer questions. And I feel it's a separate energy. I feel like it's a separate person coming forward and being aggressive. Now, the sex card to clarify is the 8 of Cups. So the 8 of Cups, even though it looks like a romantic scene, we have two people here that are kind of repulsed by each other. So there may be someone in this woman's life or this partner's life that you've chosen to go headlong in and have all this fun that you didn't really expect to get, right? You're going off and you're getting all this fun in this area, and there may be someone from the outside that comes in and kind of creates a little havoc here. Now, I'm getting the sense that this man feels entitled to this woman in some way, but I feel like that is his illusion. I feel like he is disillusioned. He does not have a clear view here of what this woman wants or needs, but yet he's kind of here in the corner and going, hey, look at me. I want to get in here, but he doesn't, it's to the point where I feel like he doesn't really have a right to get in there. So it's interesting. So it's the air sign. Someone's trying to get to the bottom of things. So we have to be careful. You know what? I think the Capricorn male is just going to go headlong into this no matter what. And he'll deal with things as they come. But this thing out of the blue here just does not fit. Now I'm going to pull a clarification card from the romance deck. They're telling me to cut. So I'll cut and pull. And I get the Lovers. So this may be someone who is a past love, who this person that you have chosen here that you're having all the fun with has left, and now even though they are not in the relationship, I feel like this is some time has passed here. This guy feels entitled, so he's going to come around and state his case, really. But I feel like it's not a big deal because he just needs to be cleared up on the details. But for some reason in the past, he feels entitled to this woman's future. And I think the Capricorn will set him straight if you don't know what's going on. because the woman and the man here, talking about the Capricorn and the woman that he chooses in the next relationship, long term we're talking, not just dating, but in a serious manner. Though he does come in a quite a light way, I feel like there's a little bit of somebody stating their ownership to this woman, yet it is not justly so. Like this, you cannot own a woman, first of all, and he kind of has no right over time here. Is pretty solid that he's not been around, so there's some kind of problem with this male coming in, but nonetheless creates, I don't see as a huge problem. Like we don't have the tower or the double or anything. I just feel it's someone that is kind of out in left field and they figure they have a right to this woman and they really don't. So, like I said, I think that'll get cleared up quite quickly. But it seems to be someone who maybe was in that person's good grace at a time that has passed. You may still be single over the Valentine's month, but this energy is going to be the next significant relationship that walks through your door. And again, I feel that even though you're willing to use this relationship to kind of spread your wings, I think you're going to be more impressed than you initially set out to be impressed. I think this woman is really going to kind of maybe sweep you off your feet a little bit or impress you, to say the least. And that is going to create some kind of inspiration within the Capricorn male to become authentically emotional where he needed to be. It is just going to kind of blossom naturally. And him being a Capricorn, and that's just the way it happens for them. It's really a natural process. So a very smooth transition into the loving phase that he truly does want, but he just doesn't see it coming. Doesn't see himself dropping in there. He figures he's going to be all high and mighty and control everything, but he kind of slips right in and gets caught up in it, and it's all good whirlwind. And there may be someone there in the midst that he has to set straight, but I think he has enough tact and respect. I mean, we know he can go off the respect level here if he needs to, but I think he has enough tact to deal with the situation of someone coming in off the side and saying, you know what, this is going on now and this is her choice. But, you know, and I don't see there's any discrepancy where the woman is going to veer off and go, no. I think this guy just has a kind of a warped way of looking at what he figures he's entitled to. And it's pretty obvious between the Capricorn and his mate that they're going forward. So I don't see that ending in any kind of really strife. I think it'll just be organized and set straight, and you carry on. So good stuff for the Capricorn male anyway on the single side. And like I say, closer to the end of February, you may get more of a hint. It may even work into the spring, where you may understand where this reading is going, or the energy anyway. It's a really good grounded blossoming thing that happens for the Capricorn in a real natural, organic kind of way. So that's all great. All great. He doesn't see it coming, and that's probably the best way for him to deal with things, because sometimes being over-prepared can actually block you from things. So for the Capricorn male for February, Valentine's Day, happy Valentine's Day. Take care, have fun, and be kind.